Okay, this... Am I not facing the right way to y'all? Why? Why is this doing this? Okay, this is weird. Bear with me. Flip. It says rotate device. Why is it doing it this way? Bear with me. If you're just now joining the live, I'm having technical difficulties. And I'm not sure why we are doing it this way. Okay. Apparently YouTube Live is going to go this way today. If you are just now joining the live and have just stumbled upon my video, sorry for the technical difficulties. My name's Jessie. Apparently I'm a hot mess today. And I have a flower farm called Living on a Prayer Flower Farm in Rusk, Louisiana, Zone 8B. And I'm not sure why YouTube's not cooperating with me today. Oh my gosh. Let me know if y'all can hear me okay. I'm not sure why we're doing it this way. Thanks, Nicole's Garden. Yes, I've taken time to rest, and I'm still just a straight-up hot mess, if I'm being quite honest with you. Daughter's birthday was yesterday. I thought I had plenty of time to get this live together, and I'm not sure why we are straight up and down and not this way. But, you know, with YouTube, I have no idea what's going on anywhere, and there's no option to change it. So here we are, apparently, doing this live like this. Ought to be interesting when I watch this back, seeing myself sideways and trying to figure out why in the world I'm sideways. I hope y'all are doing great. I know I've had a great Sunday so far until I went to do this live and my camera's crooked. But, you know, that's all good. Hey, welcome, Ramilda. I'm so glad to have you. It's 10:30. Wow. Well, thank you for staying up and joining me on this live. I'm so excited to have you here. How has y'all's August been? I don't know how it is around the world, but right here, it's been a little bit of chaos. We did our first week of school, getting the kids back going, trying to manage the farm. I've been having some orders coming in. I've got one last farmer's market that I've got to do. Hey, Bywater Acres, glad to have you join in the live. Glad to have y'all here. If y'all have any questions, let me know. We've got a few things we're going to go over today. We're going to be talking about, you know, the end of the season, the fact that we've had no rain in July, but we're getting it all right now here in August. Talking about possibly doing lives a little bit more. And talking about, you know, Flower Hill Farm getting nursery, how cool that is, things like that. I'll be buying seeds from Florette, all of that. Hey, John, thank you for joining. Yes, so I'm going to be trying to do lives more often than what I've been doing. And hopefully I'll do a better job when I open them and not be sideways. For those of you who are just joining, when I first started the live, my phone was horizontal, which is how I normally do my lives. But for some reason, YouTube was like, hey, you got to rotate the phone this way. So here we are. Here we are. For those of you who have sent me letters, this is where I keep them. This is where I keep all my wonderful letters that y'all have sent me. I love getting letters in the mail. And that's where they go. You normally can't see them in the videos because it's horizontal. But I'm done for the season. Yes, I'm feeling much better, Milda. We've taken time, rested. I'm still honestly having a little bit of get up and go issue with getting out in the farm because it's still really hot and wet. We've gotten over 7 inches of rain in the past week and a half. Over 7 inches, guys. It's crazy. It's rained pretty much every day. And this is one of the first days that we've gotten no rain. It's just kind of cloudy to sunny. So you might, right here kind of next to a window, so you'll see it kind of fade in and out. That's why. But we're at the end of the season. I've been looking back at my numbers, and I think I know what I'm going to do for next year as of right now. But I need to get out there and I need to pull weeds. Who doesn't? Constant battle, right? Is everybody's got to pull weeds. And I've got seedlings on my shelf. I'm so excited to share an update video with you guys pretty soon on how those seedlings are doing. Most of the things are germinating. About a minute before doing this live, I was looking at them and I realized all my status was like wilted over, and I realized it was dry. I hadn't watered them in 2 days. I was like, oh my gosh, Jesse, get it together, water the status. So I'm hoping it will perk back up, and I may be growing a mushroom in one of these trays. It's either a really big seed head or it's a mushroom in one of my seed trays. Things I grow. But we're at the end of the season, and I've got one last market I'll definitely be doing this season. I'll be doing one sunflower and zinnia mix market, and then we will be done. No more farmers markets past that. I know, don't lose the status again. Well, you know, it's season, and this time I know, cover it. If you are new to growing cool flowers, status, cover the status if you have a frost coming, if you wait too late to plant it, because then it's all going to die. And we've had some cooler temperatures because of all the rain we've gotten. Some of the status is actually starting to come back. Hey Jenny, I'm curious about where you order your lilies. Do you order online? I order my lilies from Ownings. If you've never ordered from Ownings before, if you go to their website, it's for Europe. But if you actually email them, I think his name is Henk, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, Henk, he will actually email you and be your American rep if you're based in the US, and take your order and send you everything, all the information, the brochures. So I just contact him, and he sends me over the order forms and what's all available, and then I send it back to him, and he does it. So I order all my lilies from Ownings. I've only ordered from them once and really liked them, so I'll be ordering from them again. Hey, Colorado Tulips, welcome to the live. I'm so glad to have you here, and thank you for your super thanks on the past videos. I really appreciate it. But I'm so just not together today, guys. But we're about to have the last farmers market of the season. Hopefully next weekend my sunflowers will be good to go. Oh, you're welcome, Jenny. And actually had sunflowers, because of the rain, bloom a week early, and I was freaking out this week because I had sunflowers that were blooming on a Tuesday, and I wouldn't be able to do the market this weekend because it was my daughter's birthday. She just turned 13. I have a teenager now, guys. Y'all pray for me. And I reached out to my community on Facebook, and oh my gosh, Sarah Ford, thank you so much. That is so sweet of you. Thank you so much for the super chat and for the super thanks that you've done on the other videos as well. It is greatly appreciated because they're about to come at me with those fault invoices. Thank you, Jenny. Your whole name's not showing up. Jenny Harrison, for the super chat. You are awesome. Y'all are amazing. And y'all are so sweet. The last video I did, I didn't expect to do well, but just the response from all of you was amazing and just put the biggest smile on my face. And I know I'm just running around like crazy right now, but my community with the sunflowers that were blooming last week, I was like, guys, I will put together a sunflower bouquets. I will do a mixed zinnia thing. Buy flowers for me. I can't go to the market. And my community came out in droves. I had about 20 shares on that post, which is very unusual for me. And I sold all my bouquets. And those of you who follow my community posts saw that because of that, I ended up at work in bright pink Crocs. So I work in administration, a healthcare unit, where it is business casual. Sometimes in my videos, you're going to see me nice and dressed up, all makeuped up, hair done. And that's because I'm getting ready to go to my job, or I just got home from my job. I'd have a full-time job that I go to. YouTube and flower forming is my side hustle, my hobby, something I really enjoy doing. And when I was delivering flowers, I was actually delivering one of our satellite clinics to one of the workers who is there. And I looked down and I realized, Oh man. Yeah, Crocs are casual, not business casual. I was wearing my beautiful bright pink suit with hot pink Crocs. And I don't work close enough to home to run back home and change shoes. Thank you, Alyssa. I'm glad to have you here, and I'm glad you enjoy the channel. I'm so glad to have you all on the live with me. I am going to try to do these at least twice a month. Ideally, I'd like to do this every Sunday with y'all, but it really just, y'all know how it is. It depends on time when you've got a full-time job, YouTube, flower farm, children. You never know what's going to happen, but I am going to strive to be here more and to do more lives with you because I enjoy hanging out with y'all and talking about all things flowers and everything else. Hey, Tiffany. Oh, thank you. Just tilled under the zinnias and amaranth and ready to put in broccoli. You know, my husband would love it if I would grow vegetables, but I haven't gotten there yet. I love flowers. I love flowers, guys. I love them. I should love vegetables, but I am not a vegetable person. I am not. Don't tell you can't eat the grass. Don't tell Serena or Ian, but I don't like tomatoes. I really don't like tomatoes. I wish I liked tomatoes, but I don't. I'll eat broccoli, though. Broccoli is good. And we're at the end of our season. The zinnias are starting to succumb to disease. Powdery mildew, the black leaf spot, all of that's happening. They actually lasted longer than I thought they would. And my last row of sunflowers, so some of them bloom Tuesday. The rest of them are getting ready to bloom now. So tonight, after this live, I'm going on a date with my husband, and then I'm going to harvest flowers. More carrots and beans to the garden. And I'll harvest those and hopefully do a farmer's market this Saturday. It'll be my last market of the season. And then we're just going to go all in with just pulling weeds, pulling tarps, pulling up landscape fabric, adding in compost, trying to get ready for these fall planted crops. Yes, date night. We try to have a date night at least once a week. Try to connect. We're both just so busy doing our own thing. So we try to have our own one date night a week at least. Sometimes it's Friday. Sometimes it's Sunday. It varies. But I am excited. I wish I could turn my camera and just show you all the seedlings that I've got going. They're all starting to really germinate and grow. If you've never grown honeywort, it grows fast. I didn't realize how fast that thing would grow. It's like zinnias over there. I need to go ahead and putting it off and getting it hardened off. Yes, Romilda, I don't like tomatoes. Everybody in my family likes them. They could eat a tomato sandwich forever. My mom could. I'll eat tomatoes in things, just not by themselves. Which is probably a good thing anyway, because tomatoes, they don't agree with my body. They're acidic, so they're kind of bad for me in the long run. So there's my excuse. But I'm so excited. We're really going to go in for spring flowers next year. Read every single one of your comments. I do my best to always respond to all of your comments, but I definitely read every single one of them. And I've been looking back at my planner and filling in the gaps of how much did I make throughout this year and filling it in. And looking back, I made the most money during the spring. March and June were my top paying months. March, I believe, because everybody's just so excited for flowers and ready to be there. Sorry, reading the comments. Oh, I'm so glad that you discovered flower farming, John. It really is. It's such a good thing. Hey, Kim. I'm glad to have you on the live. The texture just doesn't hit you well. It's kind of how I feel about some mushrooms. It's a texture thing, right? For spring flowers that I'm most excited for would definitely have to be the Canterbury bells if I can get them to work. Last year, I was half-hearted. Hey, Sherry, I'm so glad that you're here from North Dakota. and your message just disappeared. Oh, you retracted it. Well, I'm happy to have you here. You might have done like I do, where I misspell something and then realize it, retract, and then put it out there. But last year I was half-hearted on my spring flowers, my cool flowers. I didn't really put as much into it as I should have. So this year I'm full force focusing on spring. Y'all are right. The summer, it's just too exhausting. It's too hot. Being a full-time working mom, I schedule all my kids' appointments during the summer. So dentist office visits, doctor visits, swim lessons, anything like that happens in June. So I'm probably going to start pushing that stuff back to July, beginning of August. And that will allow me to really focus on the farm when I have the most potential to make a profit. And at my farmer's market, I have competition during the spring. Hey, Jessica, I'm glad that you can be here and that you're in a similar zone. Yes, summer will suck your soul right out of your body. So we're going over what we're planting in a little bit, but summer it's horrible. So I think next year I'm going to start moving the kids' things that are summer besides Vacation Bible School to July and August. That's going to allow me to focus really on the farm during the months where I can make the most money. And spring, people are just craving those flowers. They love tulips, is something that I've really found. And last year I lost over half my tulips to tulip fire and deer. Oh, Sherry, hailstorm, those are horrible. We had a couple of storms that wiped out one of my giant red spike amaranth plants. Got taken down. But spring. And I even have competition. Like I said, at the market during spring, I have another farmer named Renee who sells vegetables and flowers. And I love her bouquets. They're very whimsical. Whereas I'm sitting here trying to arrange, hers just are effortless bunches. They're very pretty. And I believe she sells her flowers for about $10 a bundle. But hers are mostly Dara and Cosmos. They're not big focal flowers. She doesn't sell tulips. And last year, even though I lost half my tulips to the tulip fire and the deer, I was able to make enough to pay the tulips. I broke even on tulips last year. Would have been nice to make money on the tulips last year, but some lessons are learned best through experience, right? So I know a lot of you have recommended the Jenny Love podcast on no-till, and I think that's the route I'm going to take this year for my tulips. For those of you who have been watching the community post or Facebook, you've seen that the deer breached my electric fence. The deer got into my flower farm through the electric fence, and they went to town on my glads. They ate almost every single glad or pulled it out of the ground. Some of them, I guess, they tasted and were like, I don't like this, and just spit it out and left it there to rot. Others they took like 1 or 2 bites out of, and then others they mowed to the ground. They also got some rudbeckia, but I'm just thanking my lucky stars they didn't get my sunflowers, and that it happened now, because that's where I'm doing my tulips at. I'm doing my tulips in that area, and I would have been devastated if I would have found out that they could get through my electric fence after my tulips were destroyed. So I spent last weekend going to Tractor Supply, getting more T-post connectors and things. Let's see, have you seen Nicole's daffodil bundles? Yes, they are gorgeous. And getting that set up so I could run more strands of fence around my inner fence, because I had about a 4-foot gap from the ground. I thought with having an outer fence and then an inner fence, I was okay to leave the inner bottom good. And I wasn't. They were jumping the smaller 4-foot fence and then just going right under the inner fence. So now I've put up 3 strands of wire on the bottom, and my husband, Sweet Lee pointed out yesterday that you could see the deer tracks where they've been running back and forth along the electric fence while figuring out a way to get in. They can't get in. I'm like, I think I figured it out. I hope I figured it out. So the tulips are going to go there. We're going to do no-till. I'm going to do the method where we're going to put down some cardboard. We're going to put some compost, have some post boards going long ways. Put in the tulips, compost over, and let them grow up. And then once the tulips are done, I'll put landscape fabric over that, and that's where my zinnias and summer-loving annuals will go. Or maybe the lilies. We'll figure it out. It'll be dual purpose, though. So I'm very excited to try that. I feel like by not putting them so far in the ground that maybe I won't succumb to tulip fire, especially since I'm moving them. Motion sensor spotlights, all of that. I'm glad that works well for you. I was just so scared to try that because people say they eventually figure it out. And I'm lazy. I'm a lazy farmer. I don't want to have to do more work than I have to with these deer. But at the end of the day, they're going to figure it out if you don't take the time to change it up and try. My sister-in-law put out these pie pans, the aluminum pie pans on a string. She tried to do that because we were going to do larkspur photo sessions last year, and the deer ate all the larkspur. Every single seedling of larkspur. They even ate some of my daffodils. So, pie pans flying in the wind do not affect my deer that I have out there. One morning, I didn't take the camera with me. I had been recording for the channel and decided not to take the camera with me outside to do something. And as soon as I walked outside, there were 3 deer in the backyard, and I went to screaming at them and hollering in my bathrobe, like, "You dare get out of my yard!" And it's like, that would have made great footage. Yes. The deer pressure is so strong. It really is. I think we've got it figured out. Oh, don't go away, comment. I'm reading Sarah's comment. Don't have deer, but sometimes the kangaroos eat everything. How high can kangaroos jump, Sarah? My goodness. We also did the motions. That was fun. Yeah, the sprinklers would be fun. Oh, John, don't ask me about the roses. I'm too ashamed to tell you about my roses. It's so bad. So, I kind of forgot about them for a while. And my face is turning red because I'm so embarrassed by it. So, I went to check on them, and they are, let me touch this so the comments don't go away. They're like this tall right now because the deer have been eating on them. The deer didn't get into my flower farm, but they found the roses and they ate them to the ground. So hyacinths are an option, and they're beautiful, but they're short. They're too short for me to effectively use as a cut flower. I know Nicole uses them, but with them, they would be good for a year. They can come back next year. They're kind of like tulips. They need a certain amount of cold period to bloom correctly and to be long enough. And we sometimes get that cold period and sometimes we don't. So I'm not going to invest in them at this time. I did invest in crocuses. Is that how you say it? Crocuses? But not for cut flower. I invested in them for the flower field area where I'm going to let photographers come next year and take pictures at. So that's what I'm thinking. Part of my profit this year was allowing my sister-in-law to do mini sessions and being able to take pictures. So we're really trying to step it up on that. If you saw Pepperhill Farm, their video of how to do a flower field for picture taking, oh, I learned so much from them watching that, and their flower fields were beautiful. So we're really hoping to step it up with that. I'm waiting on the daffodils to start rolling in. They should be shipping out soon. Maybe next month they'll arrive, and we'll put more daffodils into the field. It ought to be interesting planting them where I've already got daffodils. We'll see what happens. I'm also excited to see how many more daffodils come up from last year, because the ground back there is just so compact and hard. I'm wanting to order compost and put that out there and use, like Lisa Mason Ziegler says, take a broad fork and just kind of pierce the ground every once in a while and hope that'll hopefully have nutrients run in. I hope they come back nicely. I really do. I love daffodils. Love them. And that's a great investment as a flower farmer. If they will keep coming back in that area. One, great photo ops. Two, they look beautiful with almost anything, and I'm able to put them in the mason jars. People love the specialty daffodils. But I think I am going to take a tip that I got off a flower farmer group. And if you aren't in the group Flower Farmers on Facebook, there's a lot of helpful advice there. And one of them last year was like, nobody will buy daffodils. If you put daffodils on the sign, people aren't buying them. I kind of had that issue with some things, but not many. But they said if you put narcissus, so how you say it, narcissus? I always say daffodils, so I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the other word correctly. Narcissus. I feel like I'm saying she's a narcissist, like a person that's like into themselves. Narcissus. You know what I'm trying to say. If you put that on the sign, people don't realize it's a daffodil and will buy it because they think it's just some special flower they've never heard of before. So we may try that and see how that goes. Narcissus. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you for helping a girl out. Us Jessies, we gotta stick together. I'm horrible at words. I just am. I've learned to just deal with it. You've been watching long enough. Y'all know I have issues with words. We're just gonna stay with it. But I make a lot of money during the spring. So daffodils is what we're going in with. We're going with more tulips. We're ordering more anemones. I ordered a lot more anemones. I love them. So we're growing anemones. But I did learn from last year, we're not planting anemones until January. My fall planted anemones started blooming in January last year. So I'm going to wait, and I'm going to do 2 plantings of them, maybe. I haven't decided if I'm going to do 1 planting or 2 plantings. But they were beautiful. They won me over completely. I love anemones. One, I can't grow poppies. I tried growing poppies. I tried starting them in trays. I've tried throwing them out. I cannot grow poppies. That or maybe the deer ate them. They ate them with a larkspur. I don't know. I've given up on poppies. So we're going to do anemones, the daffodils, the tulips, yarrow. I'm excited to have even more yarrow. I'm leaving my yarrow and my rudbeckia in the ground. I'm leaving my statice in the ground. Since we've had some cooler temperatures thanks to the rain, the statice, some of them are actually starting to come back. Yes, I've tried. Poppies hate me. I've had success with poppies once. And, for the vase life, they're just not worth it. They're only really worth it if you're going to get that seed pod. And at this point, I'm taking some of the advice that I've received, thanks to y'all commenting, which is really trying to focus on specific flowers. I say that as I ordered thousands of different seeds. Why did I order so many delphiniums? I don't know. I have something wrong with me. I just need you guys. When I order seeds, I need y'all there. We're going to do like a live seed ordering, and y'all going to be like, Jessie, nope. You've already got like 10 delphiniums listed. You don't need more. They're limited to 2. 2 delphiniums. Varieties, that is. We're doing foxglove. Last year I planted foxglove too late. I tried it in April, and that was so bad. The Dusty Miller and foxglove literally just, they hated me. I don't know if it was the landscape fabric was just too hot for them as well. But I've got to have something. I may try buying the white landscape fabric and experimenting with it because it will reflect the light. So maybe it won't hold in as much heat and heat up that soil as bad. There's pros and cons to both. I'm getting eucalyptus. I'm going to try eucalyptus again. Find it a permanent home in the garden because it can overwinter and get bigger and better. We are trying The Canterbury bells, I'm very excited to try those. Delphinium, I've grown before, and it did okay. Once again, I think it was a me issue, not the delphinium itself. We've got More Status Than Ever, the honeywort, and yeah, Dr. A's book. Have y'all read Dr. Allen's book or Amrick's book? I forget his name. Check your cart and take out half. That's a good tip, Romilda. Do you order seeds with a specific color scheme in mind? Tiffany, I do not. I wish I had that much control. I don't. I just go, ooh, that's pretty. I wish that I had enough sense. I always tell myself I need to plan ahead and think about different color schemes. But I'm kind of like Serena. I like loud colors, but also like pastel colors. I just like it all. I want it all. I want the pinks. I want the blues. I want the purples. I want it all. You're already ordering more seeds too, John. Well, at least we're in it together. We should start a group, Seedaholics Anonymous. I can't talk. We need to just start a Facebook group for all of us who just cannot help ourselves when it comes to seed ordering. Yes, see, it is. It's such a big problem, right? But I'm really hoping to have all these seeds into the ground starting in October. I'm going to be covering things with row covers, and I'm really hoping to do it. I have no idea Colorado tulips, but tone color of the year. It'll be something pretty. I can tell you that much. I have no idea. I really do like the purple. You joined that group. Glad to have you, Diane. Welcome to the live chat. I really like pinks, purples, and yellows. I like those together. And they seem to do really well. I've learned that mason jars sell well in the spring, full of white daffodils, bright pinks, and purples, with a little bit of yellow. Those sell really well and really fast. People love purple tulips, I've learned. Hello, Feathers and Flowers. Hi from Maine. I'm glad to have you on the live. When we get into summer, the mason jars don't sell well at all. Mock orange somewhere. I've heard of mock orange. I've got to look into that. Last year, I raided what I think was a pear tree that was at my work's parking lot. My favorite color personally is blue. I love blues and blue-green. That personally is my favorite color. But favorite colors mixed together, flowers, purple, pinks, blues. I love it all. I love it all. Just give me all the flowers. Give me all the colors. My least favorite are orange and like brown. But people like those. I'm not a big fan of the red, orange, fall color flowers mixed together. But that's what sells. So I will put it together. I'll put it together anytime. But last year, I didn't have any greenery really to go with my flowers. So I started going after any kind of tree I could find. And my workplace has a parking lot with these big, beautiful pear trees that nobody pays attention to. They're growing in a ditch. So I got out there with my pruners and I went to town and harvested all those beautiful white flowers off that pear tree, and they were gorgeous. $25 for a 2-year nursery license in Oklahoma. Wow, that would be nice, John. Ours is $100 every year for a florist license, and then $100 for the nursery dealer certificate. And then I started to make a video of this, guys, but then I decided not to because I felt like I was complaining too much in it. But I called my local state to ask them about possibly me selling. Hey, Alan, I am so glad to have y'all here. How are you and the wife doing? About possibly selling my flowers at shops, consignment, or even having just a place for doing a CSA and having my customers pick up at that shop, right? And I was not happy with what they told me. I would need to pay another $100 nursery dealer certificate for that location. And then I would need to have a cut dealer permit as well at that location. So I'd have to pay $200 for that location, which I was leaning more towards just for pickup from my CSA. And I wasn't comfortable with putting out $200 yet. Wild dogwood. That's nice. That's some nice filler. But for the CSA, I'm not comfortable enough to do a big CSA yet. I don't have enough confidence in myself yet to take that step. I would probably do enough to have maybe a $400 total CSA. And if half that is spent in fees for the year for that store location, that just isn't worth it for me. Yes, Jessica, I am planting status. Oh, I'm glad y'all are doing great. I actually was just saying in the beginning of the live, my status over here that I planted was all kind of laying flat, and I realized it needed to be watered. So I ran like right at the time this live went live and watered it. And I'm hoping it will come back. And the status that's out in the field that I planted last year is starting to perk up now that we're kind of getting a little cooler. And by cooler, I mean it's in the 90s. Real feel, maybe 100, high 90s, versus, real feel in 115, 120. August is normally our hottest month, but this year it seems July was our hottest month. We're getting all the rain at once here in August. Lots of blue status. Yes, I've learned I love the purple status. It gets so tall and pretty, and I completely forgot what I was talking about earlier. I was talking about Dr. Amargus, Dr. A's book. Nicole Photo from Farm talks about him all the time. I got his book, and he's talked about how, I don't know why I didn't think about this, but yarrow and rudbeckia, those perennials that we plant out, that if we leave them in the ground, they're going to produce more flowers the next year. Yarrow should produce me so many more flowers next year along with the status. So if I can overwinter them again from last year, I would love that. Oh, yes, you are behind, Jessica. You've got to get started. Don't pull a me like I did last year where you're planting this stuff in December and January and then all the status dies because you didn't cover it. Cover your status. You hear me? Cover your status. It will die if you don't. And I'm very excited for the yarrow. I think the yarrow is what I'm most excited about seeing how it does next year. I'm really thinking about tearing up the landscape fabric from those plants and seeing if they'll spread more. I've noticed the yarrow the leaves tend to put down roots wherever they're at. So I'm wondering if it will spread and I'll just have one giant bed of yarrow. Do you know how awesome that would be? And I really want to create a field of yarrow in the back of rudbeckia, but I need to buy more plastic basically to kill that grass. I reused the plastic that I've been using for the last 2 years. I don't like having to put more plastic out. I'm not all organic, but I'm also not wanting to put out more waste than I have to. I really need to invest in a silage tarp that will last better than the plastic I've been using. And if I can create on that back wood line, yarrow, rudbeckia, delphiniums, foxglove, things that I know come back year after year, it would be amazing. Sell you some of your seeds and bulbs. John, we may be messaging each other. Candace, Creatively Candace, if y'all know her, she was saying the same thing, like, girl, I need some seeds if you want to trade or anything like that. So we may be doing that because I did. I way over ordered. The reaction you got in that video on Let's Start Cool Flower Seeds, that was completely genuine. That was like, I don't remember ordering that much. Use cardboard then plastic. I know I need to. It's just, I'm lazy. And I don't want to tear the tape off the cardboard. But I'm an Amazon addict. I order so much stuff. It's just, where do I stuff the cardboard until I've got enough of it to put out there. Thank you, Romilda. Yes, please remind me to cover the status. Hopefully this year I will not get COVID and be laid up in the bed thinking I'm about to meet Jesus for a week. Because that's what happened last year, guys. I planned my status, got my tulips in the ground. I was doing great. And then the week after, I got COVID. And it was so bad. I was in the bed where I physically couldn't get up very much. I was so out of it. I thought I was going to meet Jesus. And we had our first frost, and it killed every single bit of my status. It was a very sad day when I was able to get up and finally go look at my farm and see what had transpired after that horrible week. But we're not going to do that this year. This year we're going to be prepared. We're going to stay well this year, right? We're going to do much better. We are going to be better. We are learning. We are definitely learning as we grow. But I'm very excited. I really hope that everything goes way better. And I'm just so thankful to y'all's advice, your tips. Y'all are always so helpful and so uplifting. I love it. So let's talk about Nicole real quick. Forsythia. You know, I tried growing that too. People have it here, and it is beautiful. But I couldn't get it to grow. It died. It died on me. That's the story of the year with me, right? It died. Everything dies. But did y'all see where Nicole bought a nursery? Nicole at Flower Hill Farm bought a freaking nursery. I'm like, heck yeah, go girl. Stick it out in the cardboard until it breaks down. There you go. That's a good idea, Alan. But I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe she bought a nursery. That is amazing. I'm very excited to watch her and see how she transforms that nursery into something that, you know, it's going to be great. It's going to be epic. I could not run a nursery. I do good enough getting these seeds outside and to grow. Everything would be dead in my nursery, you know? So I love watching other people, seeing what they do and how they grow, and I'm so excited about that. Right, Colorado Tulips? I need some of her energy. Give me some of that. Oh my goodness. That is amazing. And then the Floret seed sale. Will I be buying seeds from Floret? The answer is no. Not this year. But possibly. I'm going to do my best not to buy seeds from Floret this year. Not because I love Floret. Floret's one of the reasons why I got into flower farming too. I love Floret. I mean, I've got all of her books over here. You can't see them out of view. But yes, Nicole has her family to help her. Oh, I love my family, but they're not able to help me much. But her seeds are in just such small quantities. And I'm at the point where I need all the seeds I can get for the money I can get. So I will not be ordering from the Floret sale. I'm going to be trying to force myself not to go on her website and buy seeds. It's going to be very hard. I want you all to tell me what you buy after the sale has ended. Because it's going to be so hard. Poor Brad Pitt, all the right? I love it when she shows Brad. He's always just got like that face of like, are you kidding me, Nicole? It's so funny. They are hilarious. They are so funny. I love watching them. They're so completely different than Serena and Ian, where Serena and Ian are like in it together and they're both happy to be on camera. And then you got Nicole and Brad Pitt, where Nicole's like, hey honey, be on camera, smile. And he's like, get the camera off me. I love Johnny's. Johnny's is where I order a lot of my seeds, but I've slowly started transitioning over to GeoSeeds. The only bad thing about GeoSeed is it's all paper. I hate having to put in the name in Google what the flower's going to look like. And, you know, some of those things pull up and some of them don't. So you have to then go by the description. But I do like Geo. Geo is so good for the price. You can't beat it. And Floret grows beautiful stuff, but I'm not going to buy from her this year. I'm going to try to resist. I may need y'all to send me some emails or message me on YouTube and be like, Jessie, don't you buy them seeds. You've got enough. Don't buy more seeds. Oh, speaking of other seeds, I'm going to be growing this fall. I'm going to try Amy and Dara for the first time. And I've got Sweet William. I'm going to try and grow Sweet William for the first time. It's actually over there germinating, and it's getting big. It's the one that looks like it has a mushroom growing in the tray. My status is dying, but I've got mushrooms thriving in my seed tray. Yes, Geo is great. I love Geo. Sometimes it takes a while to have things shipped, and they're going to shoot you an email back, making sure that, this is in stock, this is on back order, and seeing what you want to do. But I love Geo seed, definitely. But I'm really looking forward to trying Dara and Amy for the first time. We're going to enable you to go buy all the seeds. Do you have a line on getting sunflowers from farms? No, I don't. Sunflower Steve doesn't know I exist. You all know I exist. Yeah. But Sunflower Steve, he doesn't know I exist, which makes me very sad because he has such beautiful sunflowers, and I stalk him on Instagram, and I love his story. I'm so glad Nicole brought him into the YouTube flower community. I love Sunflower Steve. But Sunflower Steve doesn't know who I am. I'm a small nobody here. And I'm grateful for the people who do know me, and that's great. Serena and Ian know me because I message them all the time on Instagram asking them questions. And they're kind enough to put up with me. Nicole knows who I am because I also message her sometimes asking her questions, and she's kind enough to get with me sometimes. But nobody else knows who I am. I'm just some girl over here trying to grow flowers and a YouTube channel. But it's all good. I enjoy chit-chatting with all of you and fangirling over all the YouTubers and big-time flower growers that there are, right? We'll just fangirl together, and it'll be all right. Guys, I got recognized the other day. I went to Tractor Supply in Ruston to buy the clips for the electric fence. I got recognized. I was at the checkout, and the lady, I'm calling her lady because I didn't ask what her name was. I was just so surprised. She said, I watch your YouTube channel and I love your videos. I was like, oh, thank you. And then the manager was like, hey, ma'am, I can get you over here and check you out. And I was just so stunned that somebody actually recognized me from YouTube. I was just in shock. And after a while, I was like, oh my gosh, I should have asked her what her name was. So if you're watching this YouTube live and you saw me in Tractor Supply, thank you. I'm sorry I didn't get your name. I was just in shock. I was fangirling at the fact that you knew who I was. Okay. I'm sorry. That's so sad. But it's true. It's so true. But I'm just not together on this live. I was so proud of myself. I came home to my husband. I was like, I got recognized today. I'm professional. Yeah, girl, I'm famous. People do come up to me at the farmer's market and they tell me they watch my videos. But I kind of expect that. I'm used to that because local people who are farmers watch me on YouTube. They come across my channel searching flowers or florist things. And most of the time it's people who are looking to become florists themselves, and they find me that way. But to be recognized out in public, not wearing any of my gear or anything, and for her to see me and recognize me was like, oh, hi, you know who I am. You got recognized today too. That is awesome. Isn't it the weirdest feeling, Nicole? Because I know we've got people following us, but I feel like y'all are just all around the world, and I love it. But it's just so weird when you actually come across somebody here. Oh, it was the pink Crocs that gave you away. Don't hate on my pink Crocs, John. Those are some comfortable shoes. I was going to take the kids to school in my pink Crocs, grab the flowers, put on my high heels, and then go to work and deliver. And I had already made like 5 deliveries, so I can only imagine what all these people were thinking as I'm walking around delivering these flowers and bright pink Crocs. Well, best of luck on your YouTube journey, Nicole. Welcome to the club. I'll give you a tip. Follow Daryl Eves. Daryl Eves on YouTube. He is a YouTube godfather. He will help you with your journey. But YouTube flower community is an amazing place to be. I love being here. Oh, y'all, I'm scatterbrained these days. I have to look at my piece of paper to remember things. And another flower I'm growing this year that some of you know already, straw flower. You rock them green crocks, John. Are they like a bright, like neon green? Or are they like dark hunter forest green? What kind of green are we talking about? I need to know what I'm envisioning here. But straw flower. Serena made me buy straw flower seeds. You know that fall order seed I did with GeoSeed that I showed y'all? After Serena with You Can't Eat the Grass showed her straw flower. Oh yeah, I went and I ordered straw flower. So, Ramilda, what I do is I have a business card that has my Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram symbols on it, and that's attached to my bouquets. So that's how people can find me on social, as I have that. I actually get people, I've had 1 or 2 people get irritated with me because my phone number is not on the business card. And they're like, well, how can I order flowers if you don't put your phone number on there? And I explained that, I only do it through Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger. I don't put my phone number on the business card because I use my phone for my job as well. And I just don't want to get phone calls all hours of the night or somebody texting me when I'm at work asking about flowers. I try to keep my flower business separated from my actual job. I try to keep that respect for my boss and who I work for separate from my job that I'm already doing. My boss is great. He's understanding. I can take off when I need to with the kids. And I personally just don't like to take advantage of things unless I have to. I don't like to ask for time off for things like that unless I really need it. So I don't want to be answering the phone and handling flower business while I'm at work. Now with that, I do have a sign down by the employee time clock that says, hey, I'll bring fresh cut flowers to your desk. And I deliver free to all the employees that order flowers from me. But that doesn't happen often, and I figured 1 or 2 employees is fine, because my job is basically helping employee needs as well. I'm over new hire meetings and benefits, so I'm already talking on the phone with employees. It's fine. I can do that, right? But as far as other people, I haven't had anybody rude yet. Nobody has been rude yet, and I'm very thankful for that. But I know it's only a matter of time, sadly, until I get somebody. And that's another reason why I don't give out my phone number, because I don't want them blowing up my phone if they're unhappy about something, or if I don't get to them fast enough, as fast as I think I should get back to them. Whenever I get a Facebook message, I try to get back to them within an hour or 2. But sometimes it's 4 to 8 hours before I can get back to them because I'm waiting on my lunch break. I'm waiting till I get off work. And that's just how it is. Right now, we've just been trying to get back in the groove of things. My son, we signed him up for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's how you say it. So I'm running from school, picking him up, taking him to that, all of that. Yeah, see, if I did flower farming full time, if this was my full-time job, I would be happy to give out my phone number. But it's not my full-time job. And part of my work requires me to answer my phone for random numbers that call me, because it could be somebody that I left a message for. So I try to keep it separate. So back to straw flowers. What are those dry daisies? Dry daisies. I don't know, Ramilda. Dry daisies. Are they maybe feverfew? That's another thing I'm growing this year. Feverfew, FYI. I tried to grow it last year. I didn't know it was a cool flower, so I'm trying it again as a cool flower because it did grow, per se. I planted it in May, and it grew, and it promptly got about this tall, and it hasn't grown since. So, yeah. I don't know, Romilda. I just know the straw flower, feverfew can be, but paper daisy, that might be something that's only grown in her area, maybe? I'm not sure. But I only ordered like 6 varieties of straw flower. You know, grow 1 or 2. Let's just go all out. It's kind of like the dahlias. The dahlias this year, you know, I did a video on that where I was just going to grow like 20 dahlias or so and ordered 250 dahlias. We're going to try straw flowers this year. Ordered 6 varieties. I never learn. Yeah, probably feverfew or winged everlasting. I've heard of that. That looks really pretty too. The everlasting. Oh my goodness. I'm really hoping to take one of the workshops this year. Not the Florette workshop. I think I'm going to go with Lisa Mason Ziegler's workshop. I'm hoping to take that next year when it rolls around, signing up for her class. Maybe the Dave Dowling's bulbs, and something else class that he does. This year, I ordered my tulips from Ball Seed Company. I hope that I get them. Not feverfew or everlasting. I'm not sure, Romilda. Thank you, Chris. So you've taken the class, it was worth it? Her seems affordable and very knowledgeable. So I'm really thinking about taking her class and going with it. But this year I ordered from Ball Seed Company my tulips, and I got them pre-chilled. The tulips for my zone 8, have to be chilled for about 12 to 18 weeks before putting them in the ground so that they'll flower properly. Because we just don't get cold enough. We're not cold long enough for it to bloom properly. So I ordered them from Ball's Seed Company, and I got 9C. I wanted 5C. 5C, I think, is 12 weeks of cooling time, and 9C, I think, is 8 weeks of cooling time. So, hey, Brampton Gardner. Welcome, Michelle. Glad to have you here in the live. So by buying them as a 9C, they'll be pre-chilled, I believe, for 6 or 8 weeks. So they'll spend less time in my refrigerator, which is good. Because last year, if you watch my tulip video, I was having a hard time squeezing all the tulip bulbs in the refrigerators. I went ahead and ordered a few bulbs from Jake just to have as a backup. I saw last year when Nicole had ordered from Ball Seed Company, and some of her orders got canceled. So I went ahead and ordered from Jake. I already had my anemone order substituted. So I ordered Galilee Pastel Anemones from Ball Seed Company. That's where I'm ordering all my anemones this year from. And the Galilee mix got substituted to a different mix. So I'm hoping I get my tulips that I ordered. We'll find out. I ordered a little over 6,000 this year. Yes. Last year I had 5,000. This year I did 6,000. This year we're not going to lose tulips to tulip fire or deer. I'm determined. We will have all the tulips this year, and they're going to bloom beautifully. This year I know not to plant them until January. I'm going to have to look at that, Veronica. I've never heard of that. I'm going to have to Google it. I'd Google it right now, but I'm using my phone to do this live. But I saw where somebody said about succession planting tulips. So I'm going to do 2 or 3 plantings of tulips. Last year I tried buying the different, mid-season, early season, and late season blooming tulips. And what I found was they all bloomed at the same time anyway. They all bloomed at the same time anyway for me. So this year I'm going to do 1 planting and then another, and see how far can I push this. I may save like 500 and plant them in February. And we'll see if they bloom short. Because you need it to be a certain cool period for them to get those length. If it warms up too fast, I'll have short tulips. So I'll be taking a risk. But if I could plant them in February and have them bloom correctly for April, May, that would be amazing. I still haven't bought my third refrigerator or fourth refrigerator. I haven't bought my extra refrigerator. I need to. I haven't been able to find one that's used and at a decent price yet. But I've been looking for them. Alright guys, we've come up on the hour. I promise I'm going to try and do these lives more than once a month with y'all. Thank y'all again so much for the super chat. It is so appreciated. I really, really appreciate it. I have to dig a trench and lay down chicken wire for my tulips. Oh yeah, the rodents will get them. Yeah, John, we're gonna hope for the best. Hopefully nobody has shortages. I'm glad you caught me too. I am going to go on my date that I'm very excited about. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Bye.